Hi, my name is Gabriel Anak Polycarp, and I will be the first of Group 5 to present unlocking the potential of hydrogen. Why hydrogen? Hydrogen has been used as a source of power for more than 200 years. Once used to power internal combustion engine, especially in modern refining. It is now being promoted as the clean energy of the future. So what is hydrogen? Hydrogen is a clean alternative to methane, also known as natural gas. Is hydrogen a gas or liquid? Hydrogen is a gas at normal temperature and pressure, but hydrogen condenses to a liquid at minus 423 degrees Fahrenheit, which is minus 253 degrees Celsius. So these are the types of hydrogen. The gray one. It is the most common form of hydrogen. It is created from fossil fuel and the process releases carbon dioxide which is not captured. Next, the blue hydrogen. It uses the same process as gray except this time the carbon is captured and stored. This makes it much more environmental friendly but comes with added technical challenges and a big increase in cost. Last but not least, the green one. The green hydrogen is a net zero world where all our electricity and fuel is produced by emission free. Rather than using fossil fuel, green hydrogen is made by using a process called electrolysis to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. If the process powered by renewable energy source, then it is referred as being green.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So next I will explain about how hydrogen works. Hydrogen is mainly used by big industries today, namely oil refining, steel manufacturing, and industrial chemical production. Almost all of the gas is produced from fossil fuels. In the transport sector, the large-scale use of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles will depend on fuel cell costs and the availability of refueling infrastructure. Shipping and aviation have limited low-carbon fuel options available now, and this presents opportunities for hydrogen-based fuels to be developed in the near future. In buildings, hydrogen could be integrated into existing natural gas networks, with the highest usage potential to be found in residential and commercial buildings in densely populated cities. In the longer terms, hydrogen could also be directly used in boilers and fuel cells to power a building's electricity generator in the event there is a disruption in supply. In power generation, hydrogen is one of the fuels that can easily be stored and deployed. Hydrogen combined with ammonia can be used in gas turbines to increase output, and ammonia can also be used in coal-fired power plants to reduce carbon emissions. In 2000, hydrogen along with nuclear and renewables were seen as vital energy sources to decarbonize the power generation and transport sectors. Today, power and transport account for around 40% of total greenhouse gas emissions. The rest comes from other sectors such as oil and gas, manufacturing, and agriculture. Still, hydrogen offers a clear benefit. It has the energy density and high combustion temperatures of fossil fuels, but with the potential for zero carbon emissions. Demand for hydrogen is projected to grow rapidly in the coming decade. That's all from me, thank you.
I will explain on the strength of hydrogen. Hydrogen is light, storable, and energy dense. It can be extracted from fossil fuels. In fact, hydrogen fuels is more powerful than fossil fuels. Hydrogen has the highest energy content of any common fuel by weight. In power generation, hydrogen is one of the fuels that can easily be stored and deployed. Hydrogen has zero carbon emission, with water and heat being its only byproducts. For the weakness, hydrogen energy is difficult to store. To be able to store, we need to compress it into a liquid and store at a low temperature. The high amounts of pressure needed to store hydrogen makes it a difficult fuel to transport in large quantities. Cost of raw material. Hydrogen is not a readily accessible energy source like coal or wind. It is bound up tightly in molecules such as water and natural gas, so it is expensive and energy intensive to extract and purify. Hydrogen is a highly flammable fuel source, which brings understandable safety concerns. Hydrogen gas burns in air at concentration ranging from 4 to 75%. As for the issues, the cost of manufacturing hydrogen from natural gas is high. The production cost of hydrogen from natural gas is influenced by a host of technical and economic factors, with gas price and capital expenditures being the two most important. Fuel costs are the largest component cost in producing hydrogen. Means that low gas price in Middle East, Russia and North America makes it cheaper to produce hydrogen, while gas importers like China, India, Japan and South Korea must deal with rising gas import price, makes hydrogen production more expensive in these nations. Solution: building electrolyzers at locations with excellent sun and wind conditions will potentially lower the cost of renewable energy resource required for hydrogen production. Next, people's perception of hydrogen is highly dangerous. The general population believes hydrogen to be extremely explosive and combustible. Compared to most conventional fuels, hydrogen requires a greater minimal concentration to burn. In terms of ignition temperature, hydrogen and methane are safer than other fuels as they require a much higher temperature to burn. For the solution, the burgeoning hydrogen industry could very well present hydrogen in better light insofar as safety is concerned, especially when governments call upon industries to adopt its usage as part of the national decarbonization agendas.
I will explain about future hydrogen technology. The future of hydrogen provides an extensive and independent survey of hydrogen that lay out where things stand now, the way in which hydrogen can help to achieve a clean, secure, and affordable energy future, and how we can go about realizing its potential. Secondly, supplying hydrogen to industrial users is now a major business around the world. Demand for hydrogen, which has grown more than threefold since 1975, continues to rise, almost entirely supplied from fossil fuels, with 6% of global natural gas and 2% of global coal going to hydrogen production. Hydrogen can be extracted from fossil fuel and biomass, from water or from a mix of both. Natural gas is currently the primary source of hydrogen production, accounting for around 3/4 of the annual global dedicated hydrogen production of around 70 million tons. This accounts for about 6% of global natural gas use. Gas is followed by coal due to its dominant role in China, and a small fraction is produced from the use of oil and electricity. Hydrogen use today is dominated by industry, namely by oil refining, ammonia production, methanol production, and steel production. Virtually all of this hydrogen is supplied using fossil fuel, so there is significant potential for emission reduction from clean hydrogen. In transport, the competitiveness of hydrogen fuel cell cars depends on fuel cell cost and refueling station, while for truck the priority is to reduce the delivered price of hydrogen. Shipping and aviation have limited low carbon fuel options available and represent an opportunity for hydrogen based fuel. In building, hydrogen could blend into existing natural gas network, with the highest potential in multifamily and commercial building, particularly in dense cities, while longer-term prospects could include the direct use of hydrogen in hydrogen boilers or fuel cells. In power generation, hydrogen is one of the leading options for storing renewable energy, and hydrogen and ammonia can be used in gas turbines to increase power system flexibility. Ammonia could also be used in coal-fired power plants to reduce emissions.
I'm going to explain about the impact of hydrogen as clean energy to economics. Before we discuss the impact, we first have to ask, where do we implement this hydrogen fuel source to the society? For the hydrogen to make a significant contribution, it needs to be adopted in sectors where it is completely absent, such as transport, buildings, and power generation. Now that we know where it will be used, the next question is, how do we implement it? What is needed? The most basic things we need is the manufacturing facility to produce hydrogen fuel source. The second thing is a refueling station for the hydrogen fuel cells. There is also the supply system for distribution. So the important question is now, what is the impact does this all have to the economy? As this is a very big project, the development of the facilities will bring about huge new employment opportunities to the region. It will also have an economic impact in the revenue it generates, as the usage of hydrogen as an alternate fuel source expands. Other than economy, it also have huge impacts on the environment as it produces little to no CO2 emission, depending on the way it is produced. While green hydrogen is the only climate neutral type, brown, grey and blue still depends or produces CO2 emission, although way less than other alternatives. Thank you.